I mean, okay, so I would much rather be an action figure than a person right now, honestly.
Right.
So we might as well talk about this in the best way that we can. Just dive head in. Head first into it.
Like a baby, we're gonna head out.
Yeah, well, no, like we got that's the opposite. We're like inverse baby.
Oh, we're like
we're going
we're
in.
breach.
Yeah,
so we're feet first.
We're going in. That's what.
We're
we're
climbing
going in.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, we're going in.
okay.
Like
so
inverse.
it's like we're taking a poop, but in reverse.
We're returning to the womb, as it were.
Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
Returning to the. So, okay, so
Should I text
so
my mom and let her know I'm coming home?
no, I hope she doesn't get the text message because that would be real creepy.
That would be
Yeah.
that would be very odd.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
So, what's the shtick here, Otto? What did you come up with?
The thing I was thinking through, if we were an action figure, like if let's say the upcoming action figure line that we're going to create for the Grape Sack, what would our two accessories be, and what would our outfit be? Like what is the quintessential, like when you look at yourself or the other grapes, like what is the thing, like this is what your like standard array is,
So
your standard equipment?
Would that be based on our life or like the last hour of our life?
Well, if it was the last hour of our life, we'd need to be in a rage room, and a hammer and a computer would be yours.
And lots of lube.
I think considering how much time we just put into trying to get that live stream going for the internet, just for it to make us look like we were made out of choppy, anti-moving versions of ourselves. Like I sat over here and I grape chopped for a good, 30 seconds, and it showed my hand move like it stuttered one time. So
it was bad.
It was a bad time. So what I would do if I had an action figure of me, that I would, my action figure would have, number one, the karate chop.
You'd have karate chopping action.
Yeah, it's karate chopping action.
Nice.
So it would have that. Also, it would. I would have this thing to where you would push a button on my back, and then I would transform. My head would flip inside of my body, and then I would be the White Ranger.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
okay.
yeah, you'd click down the back, and I need white power now. But White Ranger power.
We
no.
can't say that. We can't.
I didn't mean
We
that's what
can't
he said.
say
I
that.
didn't mean it. I didn't mean it that way.
Am I going to have to edit that out now?
I don't think you can.
Because Dane doesn't edit anymore. It's me.
I
Thanks.
don't think you'll have to edit that. I meant the White Ranger power. Because what did he say? Did he want to say? He didn't say white power. That's for sure.
No, I think it was like White Tiger Zord or Falcon Zord.
No, he did say White Ranger power. Actually, whenever they moved to the
yeah,
the ninja.
I need White Ranger power.
Yeah, they made
Yeah.
sure to put that Ranger in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think they also mixed everybody else's up where they said like Red Ranger power.
That makes
So
more sense.
so it was more cohesive.
That made more sense than what I did. What I did,
You did it bad.
What I did gets us on ban lists.
Can I balance it by saying I need Black Power Ranger? Black
That may be
Ranger power.
appropriative.
I mean, look, I'm just trying to balance it out so we're equality.
Right.
I don't know if it works that way.
Yeah, I think if
So, but still, morphing action and a karate
I
chop.
feel like that's just going to be a Patreon portion.
yeah,
Oh no!
I don't know.
man, that's a new record. The
in
Patreon
the
portion.
edit, I'll look.
So yeah, morphing power and karate chop action.
I think if I was, or what would your two accessories be?
Oh, it would be what set of suit, like whether I'd be wearing my clothes or you would have a snap-on suit that you put on the outside of me
It'd be clothing accessories.
whenever I'd morphed.
See, I think if I was an action figure, first off, I'd be in Crocs, blue jeans, and a Hawaiian shirt. Because if I'm not at work, I usually wear a Hawaiian shirt. I think I would just have the standard, like, I'd have replacement hands instead of, like, movable hands. So, like, when you get the really high-end action figures, you can, like, swap out their hands. I'd have some that are, like, a chop, because, whenever I'm doing assertive movements, I have some that are, like, gripping, and some that are, like, pointing, because I talk with my hands a lot. I think my two accessories, I'd probably have, if it's going off of basic interest right now, it'd probably be a disc golf disc and bag, because that counts as one. And then probably a Gunpla kit, like just a box,
Just a box.
a box that has a Gunpla action figure. Because I don't know if I'm a play action figure. I think I may be more of a decorative action figure.
I understand decorative action figures.
And I also have a beanie on.
Oh,
because
That's-
cover up the.
is there no limit to accessories now? Or how many accessories
I
count as one
know.
accessory?
Well, okay, the hat
He
is.
said two. So
The hat is part of the outfit.
well,
Well,
that could just be molded as part
Yeah,
of your
yeah,
head.
it's
Yeah,
molded
'cause
on.
It certainly couldn't be hair.
So dear
Look,
viewer,
don't rub it in, okay?
while
He
we were
just
setting up
learned.
the live stream, I have not looked at this because you rarely look at the back and top of your head. But I realized as the age of 30 is approaching closer, my hair has migrated from the top of my head to other body parts.
His ass crack. 'cause
It's
we
his
saw
ass
that.
crack. We saw
Listen,
that.
listen.
He stood up to get the camera off the live feed station, and we saw where the hair went.
Yeah.
I'm a hairy man. My grandfather, much like Austin's dad, he wore a sweater at all times, even in the shower.
Look, I guarantee you, he was not like that man's dad.
No,
That
there's no
man-
man like my dad.
No,
That
my
man's dad is some kind of like freak of nature.
At least my dad's never had to stare into Chewcracker.
I don't know. I'm sure he's
I
looked
forgot
into
a belt
mirror.
today.
I'm sure he's looked into a mirror.
I have enough issues. I just found out that I'm balding on the top back of my head, which I did not know because again I don't look at the top back of my head. But yeah, the hat would be molded in because I'm not quite ready to fight that bridge yet, or cross that bridge yet. But it'd be a disc golf bag and a gunpla kit.
Okay, so mine just because I'd be wearing like a Hawaiian romper because I feel like my toy would be like a cheesy knockoff of me because I'm like a cheesy knockoff of a person.
You'd be like the Big Lots version of Tiny.
Yeah. I mean, because there's no company that makes a Hawaiian romper. That's why it would be on there. Well, in my size.
It's just
Let me rephrase
it's just
that.
an old Ninja Turtles action figure, but they've turned its head around.
Pretty much.
Painted it white.
Yep.
The
My-
shells in the front.
Yeah. See, the two accessories one would be something that looks almost like a pit bull, so it would be Nola,
Mm-hmm.
and the second accessory would be anxiety. I don't know how you would snap that on, but
It'd be an
We'll
all.
figure it
You know what
out.
it would be? It would be like the perfect, like there would be a slot on the back of the person that you're supposed to insert this like catchphrase into that like shows up behind them. But every time a person tries to put the catchphrase in, like it just completely shatters like the plastic.
it just snaps in the middle.
So it causes them a lot of discord. There's a link in the description.
Yep.
You can get in the description and join the Discord and talk to us, and you can just kind of buddy with us. You know, we've got meme channels and all this other stuff down there, and we're on there live, uncut, uncensored, and irrevocably circumcised.
Tell us
And I
what-
think it's time to start the episode.
Yeah.
I hope most people got that cut out for them. Hi, everybody.
Absolutely not.
I'm Austin Shazam Pfeiffer.
I'm Otto. I accidentally grew pumpkins in my yard, Cogdale.
And I'm Tiny, and welcome to the Frustration Station.
And this is Nerd It to the Grapevine, the podcast where three best friends gather weekly to talk about our favorite parts of past, present, and future nerd culture. And, we started off talking about a little bit of some action figure-y things that we're going to want to, guess what we want on our action figures. But we're here to talk about the man, the myth, the legend, the human action figure. And it is not Chuck Norris, as many might think. We're going to be talking some Keanu Reeves today.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We were just Tiny had, I think it was either Tiny or Otto.
It was Tiny.
Had mentioned something about Keanu Reeves in the group, and I was like, God, I love Keanu Reeves.
Okay, so let me give a little background to this, okay? So I was sitting at my house, and I was on my computer, and I was downloading Fallout 4. I like that game. Don't come for me. Yes, I know New Vegas is better. So as I'm doing that, I was partaking in, let's just say, some vitamins,
Yeah,
and
Some gardening.
I was
some
doing
vitamin M.
I was doing some minor gardening inside of my house.
Mm-hmm.
And at a certain point in it, I just started feeling real relaxed, and I come across a video that was like Keanu Reeves holding a bass guitar, and they're like, why Keanu Reeves like playing bass, right? And I was like, I didn't know he knew how to play bass. I'm a bassist. And I was like, I just want to hear what he has to say about it. Like, maybe we have, like, some kind of brother bond or something. And he starts talking, and he has one of the most infuriating voices I've ever heard. Like, I know he's Canadian, and he moved to California in the 80s. He sounds like a California stoner from another dimension, and it made me want to punch him in the face. I could not stand the way he talked, and then I went, that's probably why he only has very short lines in all of his movies, and he mainly acts with his body and his face. And I said, I'm going to send this to the group. He has his voice makes his face very punchable.
It just, you see, I think that I could agree with him on just one movie that absolutely just, I did not enjoy Keanu's voice in. It was Bram Stoker's Dracula. It was the one that Gary Oldman was Dracula. I don't know if you ever saw that one.
I have not. Well, it wasn't his voice in the movies because it's different.
Well, he
his
puts
normal,
on a voice.
genuine speaking voice.
I'm talking
That's
about
what's bad.
his voice in that movie.
Yeah,
Because
I've never seen that movie.
he put on a British accent.
Ew.
Oh.
And it was like Keanu was talking in a British accent. It was very... I've been on this train for 3 years. And, just...
So, like, the worst Jason Statham
Oh, smack that mouth.
impression.
Oh, yeah.
Ow, Daddy.
That was actually a pretty good thumping you gave yourself.
I think you took out some of your computer frustrations on yourself.
I feel like I did.
Oh, Jathan
I was
Statham.
smacking the wrong head for that.
That's
Station Jatham.
Station.
You know what I'm trying to say.
He's a guy that he's a guy that works over at TJ Maxx. So Jathan Statham.
You ask him right, he'll meet you behind the Applebee's and play canasta.
I've never played Canasta.
It's a fun card game.
Do you remember the name of his
You should meet us
band?
behind the Applebee's. Keanu,
Yeah,
Dog Star.
because his band, like whenever Dogstar's playing, like Dogstar doesn't like. And here's Keanu. Like it's just here's Dogstar. Like he gets up there on stage and he's not Keanu the actor. He's Keanu the bass player, and he's just playing bass for Dogstar. Like,
and he that's one thing that like Cat Williams. I was reading into like some interviews and stuff, and he is another just genuinely nice and kind person. Like he makes sure that he's not the focus of a lot of things. He's like, this isn't about me. This is about everyone else.
Keanu as a person is one of the greatest people. Like he founded a hospital for children, that deals, it specializes in childhood cancer too. And they wanted to put his name on the building. He was like, no. He's like, don't do that. It's not about me. I want to help and I want to give back. I don't need a bunch of people trying to come here and get a picture with me. Don't do that. And I thought that was pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. I was reading some interviews and people, like other actors that have been in movies with him. Because there's one guy, a crew member that had been on set for like 11 or 12 of his movies. And they're like a lot of actors you deal with, like on screen they're great, but whenever they're not on screen, they're kind of a douche canoe. And Keanu is just one of the most genuine, humble, nice people that is always willing to like help out, make sure you're good, make sure everyone else is good, and like just be kind to everyone, which you don't see a lot in the industry because I think a lot of people get a ego of like, well, I'm better than you. And Keanu's like, no, I remember where I came from. I remember the struggles that I've had, and I'm going to make sure that like no one else is going to be treated like garbage because I'm not better than them.
Yeah, and he's been doing a lot of stuff because his movies. I will watch the John Wick movies as long as the John Wick movies come out. I don't care about plot when it comes to the John Wick movies because I will sit and I will just ingest how will this man kill. It's with anything. It's been with books. It's been, of course, with the legendary John Wick killed a man with a pencil. Like he's killed him with stuff in the kitchen like pans. He's killed him with like baking sheets as he's going through the kitchen. It's just it's
good old gun.
Just good old gun, the old GOG. He does he's very believable with that too because he actually goes through full tactical training to be able to because like Keanu's training for the John Wick movies is nothing short of what you'll find like militaries training.
It's a 3-gun competition.
Yeah, he became a legitimate like professional level 3-gun competition person.
Shooter.
And for
I
those that
don't
don't
know
know,
if it's athlete or
Is he not? Is it an athlete or is it a shooter?
sure.
Shooter?
I'm gonna say both. Yeah.
With a CH shooter?
Yeah. 3-gun is pistol, rifle, and shotgun,
Yeah.
which all require, as someone that shoots, those all require very different skill sets of shooting and operating them proficiently. So 3-gun is usually like you can show off like, hey, I can operate a pistol cleanly, I can operate a rifle, I can operate this. And you can tell because whenever you're watching the movies, like you can see some of the action stars like you've never handled a real life firearm
Absolutely.
for more than a range day before, where he's like, no, I can operate this AR-15 like it is second nature to me. Like I know where the buttons are.
I got cocky at the police academy whenever I was going through training because I was good with handguns and I was good with shotguns, and we were doing shotgun slug test, and shotgun slugs, I mean, man, it's the pointiest of point and shoot for shotgun slug. Like you point, you pull, and there's a hole in something. Like it doesn't get easier than that. And I was cocky with it, so like I had a retractable stock on the end of it, so I could make it closer, and I was just like more fine tuned with it a little bit, and I was making a smiley face on my on my test. We had to get X amount within these. You know, it's a bullseye basically, but as long as you got all of them within X amount of radius, you would pass the test. So I was being cocky and I was going, you know, doot doot. Here's 2 eyes, doot, because we had like 5 shots. I was going doot doot. There's eyes, doot doot. And on the last one, when I was finishing the smile at the bottom, I actually did it. I fired. It was in there, but it kicked on that last one a little bit harder because of the angle that I put it at to get to, you know, that last little spot, and it jumped up and punched me in the face.
Ooh.
And if you've never been punched in the face by a recoiling shotgun,
It's not fun.
it's the feeling of being punched in the face by a fist.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that anybody that shoots a lot, you do it once.
Yeah.
Now, see, the thing about like 3-gun, it's not just accuracy, it's also the fastest.
It's time.
So, yeah, and a lot of times there's a reload. It depends on the rules of said competition. But, you know, the point is to go through all 3 firearms, the fastest and most accurate. So you're only shooting for, at most, like 10, 20 seconds.
Yeah,
you know?
it goes quick, especially once you get to the high level.
It really
stuff.
does, especially once you get up to pro level. But I found an article because I was trying to find some resources of, it's called "Here's Proof That Keanu Reeves is the Nicest Human Being." Okay, so in 2014 he waited in the rain for the premiere of one of his movies, let all the cast and crew go before him while he got soaked and had to sit out there all miserable like to watch the movie. He takes pay cuts so other people can get their money. So if something happens where the budget's getting tight, he'll take a pay cut so nobody else has to.
Right, because he has money.
Yeah, he does. You know, he's been known to carry equipment alongside. I don't know the technical term of the people. Grips. Yeah, he's been known to help out the grips, carry equipment, move stuff around. So it's not just them doing it. If he's just doing normal stuff, and he sees a homeless person, he'll oftentimes sit there and hang out with them, talk to them, give them a little bit of money, give them some food, that sort of thing. And he doesn't have to have a camera crew to do it. He once drove a girl 50 miles out of his way because her car broke down and he felt bad, and it was not a great area of town, so he took her to where she was safe.
Heck yeah.
He's kind to his fans. He's got a private foundation that operates under some name, it doesn't say because he doesn't want people to know, that donates a large portion of his money to children's cancer research and children's hospitals.
Yeah, because then his little sister died of cancer or something. And I
don't know.
If I remember correctly, this could be just mixing of things, but I think his little sister had cancer or died in a car wreck or something, and he's always like taking a shine and making sure that kids are taken care of and looks out for them.
Well, I mean, he could just have a kind heart,
Yeah,
like,
that too.
There are people like that out there that just genuinely have a kind heart. They don't have to have some kind of motive like, oh, this trauma happened, so da-da-da. They're just like, I know this is an issue for people, so I want to help them.
Yeah. I have his internet, because he's been in a lot. He acts a lot, and he does more than acting. He does producing, writing, all sorts of stuff. I have his international movie database pulled up, and he's accredited with being an actor in 113 films, a producer in 18, additional crew, which I don't know what that is, in 2, and he's worked on soundtracks in 6. And that's also in video games. He was in Cyberpunk 2077.
He was in there too much. And
Yeah.
that's not a dig at him. That's a dig at the story writing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny Silverhands. But he's been nominated, or he's won 15 times and has 42 nominations for different awards.
I mean, he was Batman.
He was?
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah, he is Batman.
What was he Batman in?
DC League of Super Pets.
that don't count.
It does.
No, because that's Ace. That's not Batman.
Exactly.
No, he was Batman. Ace was voiced by The Rock. Wasn't it? No, that was Crypto. Ace was the dog. He was the voice. Keanu Reeves was the voice of Bruce Wayne / Batman in DC League of Super Pets. Because Superman and Batman were both in the movie, but the focus was on the animals. It was on Ace and Crypto and all the other dogs and such.
1 second.
Did you ever watch it?
I have not watched that
It
one.
was such a cute.
I'm not doubting. He was Batman.
Weird.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'd feel about him as a Batman, though.
I mean, he was probably only in there like 20 seconds.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, the movie was just it was a fun kids kind of thing. So
Jim was Superman.
yeah,
Huh.
John Krasinski.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll have to check it out now.
It was good. Oh, also, he's not been in this movie yet because it's not released. But the new Sonic the Hedgehog that's coming out, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 with Shadow. He's the voice of Shadow.
Oh, that'll be fun.
And I heard he's going to be in the Matrix 5.
They're making a fifth
Extra
one?
Reloaded again. That's a real fun fact.
I think,
Oh, really?
in my personal opinion, The Matrix is one of those that it should have been a movie. 2 and 3 were
They were
there.
okay. Yeah,
They were
the
movies.
first one was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
2 and 3 were not as good. I enjoyed them.
The fourth, you can label it. I don't have to use it.
Like, I tried. I was like, Keanu's in there. He's a cool dude. I'll support him.
I mean, they had Trinity in there as
And-
well. It was. I mean,
Yeah. Well,
Resurrection.
they didn't even bring back the real Morpheus.
Really?
Yeah, it was just some young. It was really dumb.
It was
I'm
like a
not gonna go into the
reincarnation
plot
kind of
it.
thing.
Yeah.
That's upsetting.
You never watched that either.
No, I was going to, and then I heard all the reviews about it. I'm like, I think I have a better way to spend an hour and a half to 2 hours of my
Yeah.
life.
If they would have went with what I said they should have went with back when we talked about it initially, it would have been better.
Oh yeah,
If
we
you
did.
want to know what that was, look at episode, and you'll know exactly what I said.
You should leave that up to Bitha. Bitha knows the answer
Yeah.
Hey Bitha,
to the episode questions.
you tell us what episode that was because I know that you are a
She's like
scholar of
she's
the
like the
grapevine.
oracle of the.
She's the keeper of the scrolls.
You know, and I heard that they were going to be making another Constantine movie.
Oh,
I really
yeah.
enjoyed Constantine.
Like it was.
He is one
Now
of my favorite magic
I,
boys.
I didn't know that it was like based on what a graphic novel comic book situation.
Yeah, he's a character in the DC universe that like fights alongside Batman and Superman and stuff.
Well, see, I didn't know that going into the movie, but I still enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, it's basically whenever the forces of the demonic are working in the world of Batman and Superman, there's only a few people that actually deal with that stuff, and he's one of them. And Constantine is actually British in the comic iterations, the animated iterations, even like they had a live-action TV show. He's always British, but for some reason
Well, I mean, Keanu was British.
in that
Initially.
movie,
He was Canadian.
British Canadian.
Canada is still owned by England.
It's a different accent.
Therefore, they are British.
Is Canada owned by England?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think they're
They're-
part. It's a Commonwealth situation. I think.
yeah, they still belong to England.
Well,
as like one of their territories.
and I don't know enough to argue about it, so I'll just
Right.
go ahead and accept that.
Their anthem is "God Save the Queen." Queen Elizabeth II was on their money.
Well, I mean, she's dead now,
I know. Well, I mean, they just changed the Queen to King.
right?
Yeah,
But I really like Constantine because he's like Doctor Strange, but an alcoholic and an asshole,
Yeah.
and he's really fun. He's in a lot of the animated ones now.
I really liked the representation of like Lucifer in the Constantine movie. Just kind of the way that he shows up, and he seems like just this this suave guy, like this real cool demeanor, as opposed to like this, like, I am the devil. Like, he's more or less like John.
So he's got like shamps.
He like, so the way that, my favorite thing about the way that John basically fights the devil is that John commits suicide, and his soul is like contracted to the devil, basically, and in order to collect, like, there's this rumor that John has killed so many high level demons and so many high level things ranking in hell that if he was to ever die, that the devil would show up himself to collect his soul. So John was testing that theory and like slit his own wrists to bleed out, and the devil showed up. And
so I'm trying to figure out if it's more like a shampoo or a conditioner.
who?
John, you said he was suave.
I hate you. No, not John, the devil.
So the devil was shampoo. or
Yeah,
conditioner.
definitely
So
conditioner.
definitely, well,
Did you say-
shampoo strips all the oils out and
Yeah,
makes it
did you-
harsh.
Did you
Conditioners butters it back in.
do you remember
makes
how
it
slick his
smooth.
hair was though? He was definitely conditioner.
I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen it.
You need to rewatch it. I like that his didn't have an accent though, because he still brought life to the character and did a real good job with the character, even though he didn't have the British accent. I mean, I think that's half the character though, is having that thick British, what is it? Is it like Cockney? Is that what it's?
Cockney
Cockney?
accent.
Cockney, yeah. Guys, kind of what the way he talks.
Yeah, it's a Cockney, like
Yeah.
the orcs in 40K.
So you boys keep talking. I'm gonna go empty my pee testicles.
I don't think that's where
just
it's.
so you know.
It's your
It is.
bladder.
No, it's definitely in the testicles.
Okay.
I can feel it in there, and I shouldn't be this close to the mic, but I'm doing it. No, just leave it. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh my god! Wow! Oh my god!
Well, I mean, Keanu's he's kind of an odd subject here too. Like, because I got to thinking just a second ago while Tiny was going to pee. In the magical world of editing, we made that go by in an instant for everybody. So,
When in fact it was 45 minutes.
yeah,
We've
it took
been waiting for a
took him
while.
forever. I discovered a weird fun fact that's not a fake fact. Him and Winona Ryder were like technically married for a second.
Really?
But it wasn't it wasn't a real marriage. It was just like a technicality that they had to then escape, because what they did was, in the Dracula movie in 1992, they actually got married inside of a Greek Orthodox church with a real pastor performing the ceremony.
Oh,
So-
man.
So it's like, well, actually,
Hold on, like I don't understand.
his character and Winona Ryder's character in the movie Dracula from 1992, they got married in the movie, and filming the scene, they had a Greek Orthodox church they filmed the scene in with an actual pastor
So in the eyes of the
performing that.
Lord, they were married.
So they were actually not, they weren't like in like legal terms married, but in the eyes of the Lord married, and they had to be like,
Gotcha.
it's like, no, they're not really married. Yeah, they're married. No, they're not really married.
They're-
Yes, they're married.
It's like you just married two people that wasn't real people, bro.
Man, that would be one heck of a thing. It's like, well, I guess we're married now. It's
Well, I
my
thought
bad.
I thought it was a thing, like my mom thought that if they said on the TV show, if they're actually pronounced man and wife, that they're for real in real life man and wife. She was like, that's why they never say it. And as she said that, we were watching the episode of Friends where two people get married. I don't remember exactly at whose wedding it was at the time. And they said it, and I was like, well, Mom, they literally just said it. She was like, no, they didn't. Yeah, they did.
Does anybody else know their lineage as well as the internet knows Keanu Reeves's?
Uh,
I don't know. I know
oh yeah,
mine
can't they
fairly
like
well.
trace him back to a king of England or something?
I mean, it's not only that. I mean, he's got native Hawaiian, Chinese, English, Irish, Portuguese, Chinese and Hawaiian as well. So that's the main ones, Chinese and
Maybe
Hawaiian.
that explains his weird accent.
Maybe, or his long, dark, flowing hair.
I mean, he's got nice hair.
He does have good hair, even though his hairline has creeped back over the years. He hasn't accepted
He-
total defeat like
he's-
Otto did just a little while ago.
Look, I mean, here's the thing. Otto. I'm gonna go to bat for you, okay? Because I remember the day that I found out. I was way more far gone than you are, okay?
Yeah.
And then I had 3 people in a day pointed out to me. So as I'm fussing to somebody who was an acquaintance at the time, He goes, homie, he said, I'm bald. And he's like, look. And I was like, huh, I didn't know you was bald because you always have a hat on. He's like, I know. He said, you're bald. And I said, I cussed him. I told him to go have intercourse with himself. I don't know if he actually did or attempted to do that feat. But then I got home and I did some investigating with my camera phone, and I found out. And that was like a very hard realization, and that was a rough day. So I know what you're going through, and it's okay.
I was like, man, because the hair on the front looks fine, but it's just you look at the back and it's just.
I caught myself one day as I was leaving Walmart, because if you go through the self-checkout area, which is the main area for everybody to check
The
out now,
Walmart or the other Walmart?
it's the Walmart.
Okay.
I had looked up while I was leaving, because I was just saying, like, you look up, you look at yourself in the camera. That's what happens.
Yeah,
But
I
then
usually wave.
But as I was looking up at myself in the camera as I was leaving, it caught the back of my head, and I was like, oh, boy.
It's noticeable.
Would you look at that skin right there?
Yep.
So the highest rated movies that he's actually got on Rotten Tomatoes, as much as I don't like that site that much, it's still a good gauge for, things that exist in a way. Say you have nothing else to go off of. Maybe Rotten Tomatoes could work. His John Wick movies are some of his highest rated movies. And I know Mr. Otto has seen the John Wick movies.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen all 4 of the John Wick movies? Or
I have
just
not.
3 of them?
I've seen the first half of 3. Number 1 is John Wick. Number 1 is a fantastic movie. I don't have many flaws with it. I think that it's a solid movie through and through.
Yep.
John Wick 2, kind of. I have
garbage
because I don't buy that there are that many people in New York just standing around, that all are bounty hunters, that or assassins or killers. Like, that just doesn't seem.
My issue with the John Wick movies, okay, like the action, very well done. The story in the first one, great. He was just as badass, former hitman guy. And now all of a sudden there's this secret society, Illuminati-esque group of hitmen. That's where it lost me. I'm like, I don't need, nor do I want this. Just show me badass shooter man that's mad because they shot his dog that was given to him by his dead wife. Also, he had a pit bull at the end, and I thought that was great. He was a real good boy.
He rescued the pit bull.
They were both good boys, and he rescued him, and they were good boys together.
Yeah, and the pit bull's a recurring character in the other movies as well. So you might, just watch the other movies for the pit bull and see what he does.
That would be something that I could possibly do.
I think that the original was my favorite as well. I mean, just the introduction to John Wick as a character, of being this, you don't even know how deep the well goes on him as a badass, a killer. An assassin, all this other stuff. You don't know how deep that well goes until, you've got John Leguizamo's character, like, smacking the piss out of the son of this, Russian mobster, like this highest ranking Russian mobster there is. And like, why is it that you struck my son? And he's
because
like,
he lost the game.
Dadgummit. No, he's like, well, he killed the guy's dog. And he's like, whose dog did my son kill? He killed John Wick's dog
and stole his car.
And he just like looks at his son.
Yep.
And he's like, because he's full on gonna just kill John Leguizamo's character because of what he has done. Because you don't do that. You don't raise your hand to my boy, but he brought John Wick out of retirement and aimed the barrel of his constantly loaded gun at him.
He angered the Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because
I think they even called him that. Like,
because he's not the boogeyman. He's the person you send to kill the mother Frenching boogeyman.
Yep.
Because John Wick gets his man. That's another one of those scenes that like lives rent free in my head. Because while I'm scrolling TikTok, like, I usually skip over movie scenes because I think some are done. But that's one of the ones whenever it comes up, I'm like, I have to watch this because it's
it's
so good.
He's good unison voice.
Yeah,
I know it was kind of
got that stereo.
It was kind of sexy.
He is the one you had to kill the boogeyman.
Oh, so good. And he has a wide range of films. So I was looking through the International Movie Database of Keanu Reeves.
All of it. Full name, out of respect.
Right, out of respect. I call it the full government. But he has a lot of stuff. I mean, everything. He was a Kellogg's model. He was in a Coca-Cola commercial back in the day. 'Cause he started acting in '84.
Does it have all of that on the International Movie Database?
Yes, it does. It's a international database of movies. It has everything.
Whoa.
And if you pay the premium subscription, you even can see like the uncredited roles and stuff that he was in.
Mm-hmm.
So
But I
on
didn't pay the
International
premium.
Movie Database, it even tells you what commercials he was in on the
Yeah,
International
because
Movie
he was credited
Database.com?
for it. And on the International Movie Database, it says what movies in their database internationally he was credited on for being a producer, for video games, for all the things.
Well, I knew it had video games, but I didn't know if on the International Movie Database that they also put commercials.
He was also on SpongeBob.
And
Is that on the International Movie Database?
Well, I seen it there.
it is.
Oh, okay, cool.
And according to the database of international scale, he was also in Hamlet on a stage production as Hamlet.
Now, was it an English-speaking role of Hamlet on the International Movie Database, or was it the Klingon version of Hamlet on the International Movie Database?
I don't feel like Keanu knows
Because
Klingon.
He could. He could.
I don't think Keanu
I don't know.
knows
I
Klingon.
didn't.
We already know about this.
Whenever I was looking through the database of movies internationally, I didn't see anything for Star Trek, so I don't know. But he also
you never know.
he's been in a lot of like teen comedies. He was in Bill and Ted, the whole trilogy. He was in like a lot of romance stuff. He's in everything.
Bill and Ted 1 and 2 were pretty good. Well, I mean, of course, 1 was better than 2, but then I never got to see 3. I watched 3 like halfway through.
I'm going to make a confession.
What?
You're probably not going to be surprised.
You've never seen it.
Never seen them.
You're okay.
I
It's
saw
kind
the
of
first.
stonery.
I saw the first one
Yeah.
yesterday, and it
I
was
don't
really
do
good.
that.
Wild Stallions. That was the name of their band. All you got to do is say Wild Stallions and then play air. Yeah, just say Wild Stallions and play a little shreddy air guitar, and then people think you've seen the movie.
It's gonna be excellent.
I just gave
Okay.
everybody fake clout for Bill and Ted right there. Everybody that
Nice.
listened.
Just say excellent to everything that is excellent and bogus to everything that is not excellent.
Yeah.
I mean, I
You're
do
there.
that in general anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like the International Movie Database is excellent.
Yeah, and instead of saying something like dope, you can be like Wild Stallions. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm
They
gonna
save
try
the
that.
future.
Yeah.
I mean, their music is so good that it aligns the planets. There's no longer war, peace, poverty, nothing.
Or you can
so-
go with the plot of the third movie, and it was actually his daughter, their daughters.
I'm
that
just going
wrote
to
it.
go ahead and formally apologize to the next lady that goes on a date with me because when we make these plans, I'm going to do the Wild Stallion diddly thing, and you're probably going to hate it, but it's just what's going to happen.
So next time, Tiny. Well, it's better than
I
saying
mean, you'll never hear this probably. So.
it's better than saying "sup biggin."
Yeah, that's just mean and hurtful.
What's happening, big country?
Yeah.
I would never say that to a lady because I find that rude and disrespectful.
What up? What up, big country?
Oh Lord, it's big country.
No,
Lord of mercy, here she come, big country.
Anytime I hear the words "big country," that makes me think of the dude in prison who's going to do bad things to your butthole.
I don't know his name actually. I mean, I'd say he'd let you call him whatever you wanted to. He's still going to get his way though.
Go eat your cornbread.
You damn right, I'm going to eat my cornbread. I actually had a fan movie in my head about the Equalizer and Keanu Reeves' John Wick existing within the same universe. Have you guys ever seen the Denzel Washington Equalizer movies?
I have not.
If you like the John Wick movies, I thoroughly suggest you watch the Equalizer movies. It's basically like the
I
same
feel
idea.
like I've seen one of them.
It's the same idea as John Wick, except he didn't get his dog killed, but he's
Killed his cat.
it's like military / assassin / I've got all of this training on how to make you have a deleted save kind of deal without much explanation about where it comes from, because it's Denzel's character in it. He's always like, he's very calculative. Like he can kind of read people and kind of guess moves. It's almost like he's always playing a game of chess. But he's had 3 different movies of the Equalizer now. And I think that him and John Wick in the same universe would fit very well, because it's that same kind of, I don't know, I can kill you, I can kill you, I can kill you, I can kill you, no repercussion kind of story kind of deal. Like just a
Kind of
world.
like real life
It's for
when
some
it comes
folks.
to ants
Oh,
and other bugs,
yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah, like,
mhm.
spiders.
yeah, you don't get in trouble for stepping on a cockroach.
Exactly.
So I thought that it would be cool to like have a crossover between those two. Because John Wick, he's had to get in the last movie, and I think I am the only one in the group that's watched the last movie. He was basically excommunicated from the entire organization, and everybody in the organization was then demanded to kill him. So,
So basically, John Wick without being John Wick, because it's Denzel.
no. The fourth one was that's what I was describing. The organization was trying to kill John Wick.
Fourth John.
So it would be like
So-
the Equalizer trying to kill John Wick.
No, but it wouldn't be so much that. I would want them to like team together because he's trying to escape and get into and not be in this life anymore. And the Equalizer has managed to I forget his actual name in the movie just because it's one of those actually.
It sounds like a Roadhouse situation.
Yeah.
Like,
Explain.
okay, so
Conor McGregor gonna walk around in the same pose for 45
no,
minutes?
I'm talking about the real Roadhouse.
Oh, the Swayze one.
Yeah, not that abortion that they call Roadhouse. Like John Wick is the Patrick Swayze, and he calls up his boy Denzel, who was, what's his name? Sam
Elliot.
Sam Elliott. Yeah, he's the Sam
Bullseye
Elliott character,
barbecue
and he
sauce.
comes in there and he's like, I'll show you how to be an equalizer. And he's like, but, this is a little bar, it's like I've had my training. I am an equalizer. And he's like, I know, but I'm the original equalizer and I'm not doing anything, so I'll help out. And then he gets killed by the guy that lives across the river from John Wick, the equalizer. And so he's dead. And then he's like out there screaming, by the river when his doctor girlfriend comes up. And she sees him kill the guy, and then he's real upset. And then he gets on a motorcycle, and then he goes over there, and then he kills the bad guy in the town, and the whole town rallies around him. There's even the sheriff is there with a shotgun, and they're like,
You're just talking. You're just giving the plot to Roadhouse.
Man, I'm watching. I'm invested. I'm watching it now.
But now we're mourning Denzel Washington. We're mourning his character's death while while we've got this John Wick character. You got she's like the wind. Notice that I don't know if that's Roadhouse. No, that's Dirty Dancing. Never mind. I get confused.
Yeah,
with
it's about to be like
80s Swayze.
But you can also, he's got a pit bull there with him, so and she's like trained for protection, and he's like does this thing, and then it attacks because a guy breaks in his house and he's smoking a cigarette, and he's on I think acid or ecstasy, and he's like, who are you? And he's like, I'm the devil, and I'm here to do the devil's work. And he just kind of like laughs at him and throws a can of dog food in his face, and then he does the thing, and then the dog attacks him, and the dog's name is Brandy. And then bad things happen, and then like he waylays everybody, and he's messed up. And then Denzel is outside in the pool going through lines for his new movie, and then he goes and gets a flamethrower from one movie that made him famous and takes out the last one.
Tiny.
What movie?
You just combined Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Roadhouse. You put a Tarantino in a place where a Tarantino doesn't belong.
I was wondering. I'm like, where are we going with this?
It's
I don't
like-
think I've seen the same Roadhouse.
It's like you ask for extra Tarantinos on your taco instead of extra tortilla strips.
But-
So you get just like, why is my taco filled with pictures of feet?
Yeah, but I feel like that would be a compelling movie to put to film.
Would it be a compelling movie?
It'd be
'Cause
it'd be
I
an
was
interesting
following
That
movie.
you.
dog was adorable.
The dog was, dude. I was following you the entire time, but then I felt like the roller coaster had completely tilted off of every axis, and it was dragging the ground. But somehow the cart is still moving.
We got shot onto another roller coaster, and it
gonna-
landed on those
I'm
tracks.
going to be really honest with you. After about 30 to 45 seconds, my brain was somewhere else. I was thinking about dinner while my mouth was just going.
I can't.
God, that was a great stream of consciousness, though.
I can't believe it. I think that it might have been a weird thing to talk about Keanu now that I think about it, just because we can only say real nice things about him. Besides, Tiny likes the way that his voice sounds when it's not in his normal talkie voice.
Right.
So in his movie voice, Tiny is fine with him. In his talkie voice
Because
in normal
the
time,
most amount of words he strings together as action movie Keanu is like 10, maybe.
maybe. Or my name is Neo. I know Kung Fu. That's kung fu's technically one word. So I know kung fu. My name is Neo.
I met the Oracle.
I met the Oracle. That's 4.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they're mostly short dialogues.
Yeah.
Good. He's a man of action, not of words.
Exactly.
'Cause, I mean, even the
And
John Wick
facial
series,
expressions.
he does actually, according to the International Movie Database,
.com.
he is known for his
http://
where'd it go?
www.internationalmoviedatabase.com
Oh gosh,
/
where did it go? Oh,
Not a sponsor.
It's gone. It's gone. The
That's
internet
all right.
has moved on,
It's
but
okay.
he is known for his smoldering in something like incontemplative stare, according to either the Google or the International Movie Database. All the websites moved together into my brain and then dumped half the
it's like
files.
on every movie poster as action Keanu, he is just like staring like at this. Like I'm not gonna like on.
I love
the
how you gave
Matrix
an
one.
I love how you gave an action movie stare for an
I know.
audio medium
I know.
podcast. Just
That-
then,
that's when I stuttered.
insert
then I was like-
stare.
Yeah. So the
Dear
stare that
viewer.
he does is very similar to Blue Steel.
Is it?
Just a little less mouth poochy.
Yeah.
I mean, I can show you, but only 3 of us will see.
Right.
Actually, only 2 of us will see.
He's
Yeah, because
also-
you can't see you.
No, I can't see.
Hold
me.
on, let me get out my camera and give you a good top angle.
No.
Right. And
I remember what happened the last time you did
No,
that.
that was an under angle.
I know.
it was like an underside angle. It was,
It was bad.
yeah. He was also in Fortnite because they put John Wick's character in Fortnite. And I think they put Neo in Fortnite as well because Fortnite has everything. So he's in Fortnite twice. I mean, what other?
Don't do it again. He is an epic battle simulator too. Like
Yeah.
his character's almost as powerful as Jesus and Chuck Norris.
Right. I mean, he's basically those two if they had a baby.
Yeah. I mean, I had one of him versus 1,000,000 chickens. He won. It took a little bit because 1,000,000 chickens is a lot, and I kept getting lost.
You know that he was actually in a movie with Patrick Swayze.
Was he?
Yeah, called Point Break.
Never seen it.
It was the one with the guys with the president's masks, or like bank robbers, but also extreme sports enthusiasts.
Oh, because it was
Oh.
the 90s and everything had to be extreme sports.
Yeah, well, they were
Is
they-
that the one where like he's a really good like shooter, and then the
Misses the
government
shot.
comes up to him and they go, "Hey, we need you." So there's been a plot to assassinate the president. We need you to figure out how it's going to happen. And then he goes through this whole dialogue with him of, if I was going to do it after doing all this research. And then they do it exactly like you said, and then they frame him for it. And then, he's trying to run from them, and then like an NSA type person.
Oh my God,
Wasn't
what
that
movie is
that? Was a
follows him,
Damon, wasn't
and
it?
He,
This
he
isn't a
realizes
Keanu movie.
He's innocent, but
Spoiler
he wants
alert.
to help him.
This isn't a
And
Keanu movie.
He hooks up with
This isn't Point Break.
one of his soldier friends'
This isn't-
girlfriends,
this
and is
isn't-
like, I need to borrow this 22, and then he uses a Dasani water bottle. It wasn't Dasani. It
Stop
was-
talking
it was
about
a Nestle-
Reacher.
No,
This
it's
is-
not
That's what it
Reacher.
was.
No.
It's Reacher.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
this because
It's Shooter.
it's not.
It's Mark Wahlberg and Shooter.
Well, they did the same. They did the
and he
same.
calls him Gunny, and he like rubs his hand when he meets the old guy in Tennessee.
Oh no.
He's like, "It's you, Gunny. I knew it because I could tell by your hand calluses."
Okay, what about
It's like-
okay? That wasn't Keanu at all, and damn you for keeping us off the rails again that much. What about Speed? Did anybody see Speed?
Yes, that one was good.
Speed was a
That's the one where they're on the bus and
yes. It's the one where they're on the bus.
And they
You're
have
correct,
to keep going.
and it
Yeah.
can't get under X amount of speed. It can't
I
get
feel
under.
like it was like 55 or 60. It couldn't go.
It was
under.
like a ridiculous amount of speed for having to drive through a city.
yeah.
I think it was like 50. I think it was like 55 because the MythBusters tested it to see if it could happen. Because also you're thinking that's a bus,
Yeah, it
and
was a
buses
fully
don't go
loaded
fast
bus.
through turns.
No,
I mean, they do, but there's a massive amount of body roll.
Yeah, like me.
No, his body rolls. I
Yeah.
can say that because I have those.
yeah,
Yeah.
The Speed was one of those that actually made me in fear of public transit.
Yeah.
Like
What if someone? What if I'm on this bus and someone makes it have to go 55 miles an hour?
Somebody makes my bus a speed.
like what if somebody's put a bomb on this bus that I'm having to ride, and the bus is going to have to blow up if the bus goes under a certain amount of speed, and the bus won't go over a certain amount of speed while you're on the bus, so you're just
That's
freaking
true.
out.
And then John Travolta gets in there, and they bring in the helicopter, and they pick it up, and they ram the bus through the side of a bank, and then they, wire transfer money out into another account.
This is one of those episodes where Tiny just gets to wherever Tiny gets to.
Tiny's confused
This is
movie
one of-
segment.
This is one of those episodes to where if Tiny has a thought, it's going to come out mouth, but then we got to figure out where it went. I don't have any idea what movie that was.
Swordfish.
I've never seen Swordfish.
That's sad. It's a good movie.
Supposedly,
You also see Halle Berry's boobs in there.
they paid her a lot of money for that too.
She's hot. I
Yeah.
can see why.
Okay, 47 Ronin. You guys like
That
like
was a good one too.
Okay, have you actually
I've
seen
actually seen
47
that one,
Ronin?
yes.
47 Ronin isn't when the guy is like ex-military and then he has to go and he has to become a babysitter for this family and ends up teaching teaching wrestling to the kids and like going to like the soccer games.
That's the
and everything.
Babysitter by Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
No, the pacifier. But
That
you're close.
one.
The pacifier.
I
Okay,
watched
so-
that while getting my braces put on
it
at my
was not that one.
orthodontist.
Okay, so 47 Ronin was actually a really good. I like the samurai movies and stuff as well, and the actiony sides of the samurai movies. The idea of the, I just didn't like how he died in that movie. I mean, spoiler alert.
I mean, they all did.
Yeah, that's
but,
how samurai
I mean,
movies end.
Well,
Everyone
the thing
dies.
was, it was. I'm not going to say it was a happy ending,
Uh,
but they all got to reclaim their honor and no longer be Ronin. So I get it. It kind of had to end that way. But yeah, I mean, like it was a sad scene, dude. I got real teary watching that when they all committed Sudoku together.
I mean, he was also on one of the most prestigious talk shows to ever exist, Between Two Ferns.
I did not know he was on there.
I would love to watch.
I would, because the
'Cause
whole
what-
point of that is just for Zach Galifianakis to French with people.
Yeah, well, it was on Between Two Ferns, the movie. That
I'm
his
sure it was hot.
that his
too.
segment was, because the thing about Between Two Ferns, the movie, is the people that were in Between Two Ferns, the movie, were just as clueless about the interview and the script and the plot as anybody who actually comes into an interview with Between Two Ferns. So I enjoyed the movie just as much because the format was, while you were on the set, it was still going to be the shenanigans taking place on set that you had no idea what's happening. Like,
I mean, that's pretty
except for
great.
the one part where they like drowned Matthew McConaughey and killed him.
I found out the other night I can do a great Matthew McConaughey impression.
Oh God, I'd be amiss if I was to go ahead. Just do it.
You'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's wonderful.
You'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That sounds exactly like Matthew McConaughey.
He was from
Tony.
Sparta.
If he's from and he's not asking.
He doesn't drive a Lincoln. He drives a Ford.
You'd be a lot cooler if you did.
I didn't choose to drive an F1. I drove an F-150 before I was paid to drive an F-150.
Yeah, I like drinking Bud Light out of this here neck koozie. I'm sorry I ruined your roommate's bathrobe.
What movie is
Whenever-
that from?
I don't know. I just threw some.
Whenever
I threw a
I'm
few
driving
things
a
together.
lady up to Sunset Rock, I always make sure that my Ford's tuned
I
up
think one of
right
my-
with the windows down.
I think one of my favorite underrated Keanu Reeves movies is whenever he grows up like this young kid in a place in Alabama, and he has like this weird disability where he can't walk really well because his spine is really crooked and his legs are just won't develop the way they're supposed to because the way his spine is shaped. So like young Keanu has to like then break out of these braces. And then just to be able to outrun these bullies that are trying to get him. And later on in life, like Keanu's character ends up like meeting all like a couple different presidents.
Yeah.
And he ends up.
It must have dropped me about 14 Dr. Peppers. Yeah. I mean,
he served Keanu's character served in Vietnam.
Got shot
It
in
was,
the back.
Yep.
Shot in the butt.
It
Oh
was,
God! I think you're confusing Forrest. I think you Forrest Gumped him again.
I
he
did-
married
did-
a whore.
He did after that was the
Yeah.
thing about the Keanu movie Forrest Gump that I really didn't
Yeah, it was like-
understand.
I didn't understand that either.
Like why did she get to go off and go do all of her things and get like a deadly disease and then be like, okay,
AIDS.
Forrest, now you can love me.
Yeah.
This
She's
is
like,
totally
I'm
your
dying.
kid.
Yeah, it's your kid. I'm dying. So,
I'll give
Yeah.
you a chance.
yeah, now I'll give you a chance. Now that I know that there's no way that we can have sex again,
And then Keanu says, he's like,
I'll love you anyway.
and Keanu says, is he smart or is he? And then he kind of like motions to himself. So he's just like wondering if he's.
Yeah, and then she says he's stupid. She's like, no, he's smart for us, not like you.
I might not be a smart man, but I know what love is.
Jenny. Look, try it again. That was McConaughey.
I know. I was trying for. Oh, sorry. It's Keanu, not McConaughey.
Yeah.
So hold on.
I may not be a smart man, but I know what love is.
That's John Wick. That's John Wick. Keanu. That's
Oh,
good.
Yeah.
sorry.
That's good. That's
sorry.
good. So if Bill and Ted Keanu would,
I may not be a smart man, but I know what totally love is, Jenny, and it's excellent.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
Oddly enough, that's a lot what he sounds like just naturally.
So okay. So I would like to. We've got just a few minutes left. So let's continue this placing of Keanu in movies where he doesn't belong.
One of my favorite Keanu movies was when he's on a desert planet. And he's the duke of this really nice house that he's told he was raised by his mother that he was going to be this prophetic soothsayer to everyone, but the whole order is no, actually you can't do that because you're trying to get your own way. So he goes to this planet and has to get inserted into this other native tribe and learn their ways to take down this other house that is trying to take over their planet to get this thing called spice, and he ends up riding
the Bubby Jezebels.
the Jezicals,
The Bubby Jezebels.
and then he ends up riding this sandworm and becomes the Duke of Arrakis. That one was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And
he got these pretty blue eyes throughout it all,
Yeah, it turns out if you snort sand, you get blue eyes.
Yeah, that's fun. Keanu did a real good job in that movie.
Yeah,
He did.
I love him as Paul Atreides. I love him as Paul Adkins.
It was the movie was called Dune, bruh, right?
Dune, bruh.
Dune, bruh.
Yeah.
You know what? That's fun too because he got on the back of that sandworm and he's riding it, and then you got another herd of sandworms, that join the other sandworm, and then they're all riding in there together. Wild stallions.
Yeah, it was pretty epic. Just that one portion because the way the sand was flying. The way he's standing up there just fucking air guitaring like a champ.
Yeah, I hear he was in that one, and also he's in the new Wonka movie, I heard. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, man, Keanu was in that new I actually did watch the new Wonka movie. Keanu did a great job in that. I think he did a real good job portraying a younger Wonka for the way that he was just kind of developing how whimsical he wanted everything to be, because the world of chocolate was just very bland and it was very cut and dry. This is chocolate. And and Keanu's character's no, chocolate is magic. Chocolate is supposed to make you believe in something more than just here's some waxy tasting cocoa in a pack. And I mean, it was good. You need to watch it if you haven't watched it.
I would love to see
seen
whimsical Keanu.
I mean, he's just been in so many good things. Did y'all see the one where he was like a vampire, but he wasn't like a normal vampire? He was called the Daywalker because his mom was pregnant and she got bit by a vampire, and then he was born, and so he could actually go out in the day. But he didn't like to drink blood of people. He found this serum that he could take, and then he started hunting vampires.
Oh, dude, yeah, I remember I remember when Denzel Washington's character would develop all the weapons and stuff for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
and he would he would he'd always be and it was weird too because he would always use a sword, and they called him Blade.
Yeah.
So I mean that all kind of fit together. And he and Denzel's character was you can't just go off of this serum forever, Blade. You got to figure out what you're gonna do. Your dependency's becoming too strong, and and then he finally ends up drinking blood because he has to fight a blood god, and he's like, well, you know what? I need to be super strength. So he got super strength. That was a good movie too with Keanu in it.
Yeah, Denzel's character in that movie was so good too. He was like this old curmudgeon-y just asshole.
I hate
that you couldn't help but love.
I hate they killed him off.
I know,
And then they brought him back though for the second one because they had to bring back the mentor character.
Yeah, but I mean, then they killed him off again in the series, just because they had to have retribution from his daughter to come and seek revenge and everything else.
Well, I mean, did y'all see the new TV show that Keanu did?
No, what was it?
Well, see, I don't remember the name, but it's kind of like in the future, but in the past. It looks like 50s, but there's robots and stuff, and they're in these blue jumpsuits, and they start off in this underground place that they call a vault, and there's some number on the back of their uniforms, and I can't remember what it was, but
Keanu was from Vault 33.
Yeah, and he comes in and marries his chick, and they're in the room, and he just like gets naked, like there's his ween, and she goes okie dokie.
Yep.
And then
That's what she said. She said
basically
okie
just-
dokie.
Yeah, she says okie dokie, and she jumps up there and basically pogo sticks. And then they fall asleep because, you know, when you're done pogo sticking, sometimes you get tired. And then they wake up the next day, and he's over there getting coffee. And for some reason, she looks at him,
And he's got scars.
and he's got scars. You know, I mean,
she's like, "What is some?" He
and
was from
she's-
Vault. He was supposedly from Vault 32.
Yeah.
She was from 33.
right. And so then she picks up her Pit Boy and like aims it at him, and she's like, "You got radiation. You're from the surface." And then he's like, "Bleh," and pulls out a knife. And they fight, and he ends up dying in the first episode, but it was still
It was still get a little Keanu cameo.
Yeah, it was a little good Keanu cameo. It was he usually plays the good guy, but in this one he played the bad guy, and it was just good.
Yeah, I think honestly one of my favorite Keanu, like, because he does voice acting too.
Yeah.
But there was this one where it was him and his older brother, and like their mom died, and they tried to do alchemy to bring him back, and like his older brother lost his leg, but then like
Yeah.
Keanu lost his whole body.
It was
But
sad.
Oh, and yeah,
But-
Keanu's character got like stuck to that suit of armor.
yeah, he brought him back and trapped his soul to his suit of armor. And then it was just the whole. It was like a friend. It was like a fun thing to watch Keanu, and I can't remember who played the other guy, but he
Denzel.
yeah.
Denzel,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Denzel.
yeah,
They,
Denzel was
they-
Ed. It was Ed.
Oh yeah. And they learned alchemy together, and like just went on a hunt for the Philosopher's Stone and found like a bunch of corruption in the government. I think that was one of my favorite Keanu's.
I think my favorite scene in the in that movie, that show actually, was whenever Keanu's dog and became really close with Denzel's character's daughter. And what they ended up doing was that they didn't want them. They wanted to be best friends forever and never be separated. So this really cool doctor like took them and he combined them all together into one creature. They called a chimera. So that was a really cool part of that movie. That
yeah.
show actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a real fun thing to think about though. And I would accept them honestly. I don't know about you boys, but if Keanu Reeves walked up and handed you some grapes, what would you think?
I would accept them, because why would Keanu have any reason to hurt me? I love his dog and his car.
I think the grapes would probably taste like patchouli.
Probably
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't help it.
And wholesomeness.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun, dun, dun,